Hi guys, welcome back to the Java class. In the previous video session, we have covered what is one-dimensional array and how to create it, how to initialize it, and how to print the element of one-dimensional array. In today's session, we will learn what is two-dimensional array and its applications. So what is two-dimensional array? It is an array of array and the data is stored in two-dimensional array in the form of a very structured format that is known as the matrix or a table. Two-dimensional array can be used to store the element in row and column format that is known as a matrix. So let us understand how to declare two-dimensional array and how to create it. So first let us declaring 2D array. How to declare 2D array? So here simply you will use the data type. So I am creating the two-dimensional array of an integer type. So I'm just using int grid. So here you will write the bracket two times. So int grid, it means you are declaring a 2D array, but it doesn't have any element. We have not stored any element inside it. So how will you store some elements and how to initialize the two-dimensional element? You will just simply use a curly bracket, and inside a curly bracket, you will add some data inside it. So I'm just creating a nested curly bracket. Inside it, I'm just passing some values 1, 2, 3, and 4. What is the meaning of it? It means this is the data of first row that contains 4 elements. In the similar way, you can create one more nested curly braces for the next row. Here you can store the value 5, 6, 7, 8. This is the data of row number 2. In the similar way, you can add more rows inside it using the curly braces like 9, 10, and 11 and 12. So what is the meaning of it? Its meaning is we are creating a grid that contains three number of row. This is the data of row 1, this is the data of row 2, this is the data of row 3, and each row contains 4 different elements. Row 1 contains 1, 2, 3, 4. Row 2 contains 5, 6, 7, 8. In the similar way, the row 3 contains different values. You can see like that also. If you will just split in multiple lines, you can also write like that. So this is also valid in Java. This structure is also valid, and here you can understand means how it is displaying. This is the data of row 0, right? You know, array index always start from 0, whether it is a row and a column. This is row 1 and this is row 2. Clear? So we have created a grid that contains 3 different rows, and each rows contains 4 different elements. This is the method 1, right? This is the method 1. Okay, to declare an array and to initialize at the time of declaration. So we have method 2 also to declare an array, and later you can assign some values inside it. What is the meaning of it? For example, you are defining some grid like that in matrix is equal. You can simply use the new keyword to allocate memory to it and int. Inside it, you will write 2 times bracket. So first bracket shows you have to pass the dimension inside it, otherwise compiler will complain, or the complaint will be the variable must have either dimensions, expressions, or an array initializer. What is the meaning of it? The first dimension is the number of rows you would like to store into the array, and the second dimension you will pass how many element will be there in each row. For example, I am writing here the 3 and the 2, right? So what is the meaning of it? It means I have created a 2D matrix that is in the form of, or that contains 3 different rows and 2 columns, right? So whenever you will display some value inside it, because we don't have any value inside it, for example, you will write system dot out dot println. Okay, system dot out dot println. So I will write the matrix. So whenever you will display simple matrix, let's see what will be the output of it. You will run it and you will just see the output. It will show some address of a two-dimensional array. So if you would like to get or you would like to access some individual values, so you will just pass the proper index. So let me just show you, because we have inside this value. So I will just change this matrix to grid to show you the values, right? To show you the value. So grid, for example, you would like to access the value that's 7. So where it is present? So 7 is present in the first row. This is the index value, but it is a second row, but the index is 1. So you will pass the row index is 1 and you would like to access this value 7. So this is 0, this is 1 and this is 2. You will pass 1 and 2, right? So just run it and let's see what will be the output of it. So you can see the value 7 is there, right? The value 7 is there. Okay. So this is the way to access it. So I will just cut from here and I will just display here this part. So this is the one way to declare and initialize the 2D array and how to access the values from the 2D array. Or if you would like to update some value on a particular index, so you can just update that value also. For example, for this index 1 and 2, you would like to update the value. For example, like 18, you would like 28, you would like to update. Okay, that is, this is one index means the row number 2. This is the second means the column number 3. So let me just uh, display the value again. Let's see what will be the output, right? I will just close it. Okay, so I will just copy it and I will come here. So again I will just run it and you can see what is the updated value. So here you can see the updated value is 28. Previous value it is showing the 7. Now you have updated the value. So here update the value, right? So this is the method 2. You can just create a 2D array using a new operator and you can pass some size of the row and size of the column. Or later, if I will write here the matrix, now I will change it the matrix. So I will write matrix 1 comma 2 or 1 comma 0 if I will pass. So what is the meaning of it? This is the second row and the first value. Okay, so I will just run it. Let's see what will be the output. You can see it is showing the value 0 because we have not initialized any value to the 2D variable name matrix. So by default, it will show the default values. So default value for the integer will be the 0 here, right? So if you will assign some value to it, for example, matrix, this value, later you can assign like the 30 you have assigned. Let's see what will be the output of it. Okay, so this is the another way. You can see the output is 30. This is another way to create a two-dimensional array, how to assign some values to it after declaration and how to display that value. Okay, so for this is two-dimensional array. So how to iterate over an element, right? Iterate over an element of 2D array, right? So how to iterate an element of 2D array? So here you will use the nested for loop, right? You will use a nested for loop, right? So one loop will be, the outer loop will be for, this loop will be for the rows, right? And this will be for columns. So this is outer loop to count how many rows are present. So if you will see here how many rows we have 3 rows. So I can use the variable like int row is equal 0. I can write row less than, means how many rows we have 3. So it will iterate from 0, 1 and 2 and you will use row plus plus, right? So this is the outer loop that will count the number of rows and this is the inner loop that will count the number of columns. So I will use in column is equal 0 and I can write the column less than. So how many columns we have here? In this case, we have four columns, right? Four values inside in each row. You will write column less than 4 and you will write column plus plus, right? So outer loop to count the number of rows. This is in inner loop to display the values of a particular row, right? Now you can display simple, not this part. You can use this part. System.out.println grid, and in the first subscript you will pass the row and second you will pass the column, right? So now you will run it, you will save it and you will run it. Let's see what will be the output. So here you can see the output is present in a very weird way. It is like in one line, but we have created some matrix, right? So how will you just display the data in the matrix? You can see for each row we are displaying the value of all the columns. So after displaying each value, we can just pass some space inside it. So this is the space I have provided, right? And I will use the print statement. So all the element of a particular row will come in one line. And after this, I can just add a next line. Okay. So what I have done for this row 0, it will display all the elements in one line separated with a space. Then whenever this one line will be over, the row will be over, it will send a cursor to the next line and will display the element, right? So let me just save it and let me show you the output. So here you can see the output is a very uh, structured format in two-dimensional matrix 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the updated value is 28. We have updated it, and this is the way. So guys, this is the way how can you just initialize two-dimensional array. Method 1, and this is a method 2. How will you access the element of 2D array? How will you update the value? And how to iterate over an element of 2D array using a nested for loop. So guys, I hope you understand the concept of 2D arrays and how to iterate over an element of 2D arrays in Java programming language. So thanks for watching. In the next session, we will come up with a new concepts. So meanwhile, you just take care of yourself, study and practice of two-dimensional and one-dimensional arrays. Bye bye for now. Take care. Have a great day.